Hello, my name is Savy. I'm the Festival Director for the London International Festival of Science Fiction and Fantastic Film, or SCI-FI-LONDON, as we like to be known. This in short. I started the festival 13 years ago, because there wasn't enough of the kind of science fiction films that I like to see at the cinema, and somebody told me they didn't like science fiction, and I wanted to go and take them to see some of these movies, and they weren't there, so I thought there'd be a festival. And there wasn't, so I started one. About 5 years into starting a film festival, I'd then obviously been to lots of other film festivals to see how they do those things. I've met lots of filmmakers, and my first question always to a filmmaker was, have you made a science fiction film? Because I'm always looking for content. And often the answer I got was, well, we don't have that kind of budget. And I used to sort of take that, and then I got a little bit more argumentative and say, well, what kind of budget? You know, if you look at Michel Gondry's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, that as a film, you know, the money spent on that went on the cast and the crew and the director and the P&A and all those things. It wasn't spent on the science fiction. And there are lots and lots of really good examples of that. And I think for me, science fiction has always been kind of in the background. It's a really good story about a character and what happens to them and how they deal with it and what the resolution of that conflict or the emotional journey they go on or whatever. So I had been involved with a 48-hour film project that ran across the UK. And I thought actually one way of trying to encourage people is, why don't we do one as part of the SCI-FI-London Film Festival? So in 2008 we decided to do our first 48-hour film challenge. We had about 70 teams sign up to take part. We had 50 odd films returned, teams that actually finished in the weekend, and I'll tell you what the process is in a second. And our first winner was a filmmaker called Gareth Edwards, who it was the first film he'd actually made off his own back. He was a special effects artist for his first short film, and off the back of that he got Monsters, and off the back of Monsters he got Godzilla, and the rest is history. And we've been living off his name ever since. But the reason the 48 hour was started was to try and challenge filmmakers to stop thinking that they needed big budgets and start thinking about the story, but use sci-fi as the context or as the backdrop for telling a really interesting little story. And if you want to know more about the 48-hour film challenge, obviously go to sci-fi-london.com. There's a button at the top that says Sci-Fi-London 48 hour. Click that and you'll be able to see an archive of the films, see who the jury are, the kind of prizes. I think people do it really because they want to win, rather than they want to win the camera that we've been given by a sponsor or whatever else for that. They want to be the one team that won the Sci-Fi-London 48-hour film challenge, and I'm very proud of that.
We film everything.
Keep swarming down here! Get the friendlies out!